Hello, everyone. So today's session is going to be about how AI is going to supercharge your sales. And let's start by asking you a question. Which company do you think has the most efficient sales process? This company has revolutionized the sales industry. They came up with a lot of innovations. They started from a small domain of things that they were selling, and now they're like huge. Can you think of who that is? I'll give you a clue. They revolutionized the one-click checkout system just to make the process as quick as possible. I'm sure by now you know who it is. I'm getting messages, and it is Amazon. Amazon is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, retailer in the world. Of course, they've expanded to many other elements, but their online store has been what really drove the success, and it was mainly successful because of their relentless focus on making the sales process as smooth as possible. This was an obsession from the early days of Jeff Bezos, and you could see that over the past, 20 years, I think that's the kind of time that they've been around, there hasn't been much change to the actual interface of the e-commerce store that they have. Hasn't changed much because it was so optimized a lot, and what they've just changed is improving the process further. The one-click buy button was a big improvement, and there's another kind of improvement. But let's go through a typical buying journey from A to Z and explore what Amazon and others are doing in that regard. So anyone that wants to buy something, you start off with discovery phase, where either you search about the product on Google, or you hear about the product from a social influencer or on an ad somewhere that you see. Then you go and review the product. You try to buy it. Hopefully you get it delivered quickly. And the important thing is that you actually, when you get the product, that it is as advertised, that you do see that what was promised in it is actually what is being delivered, and you have a good experience with it. So that's the general buying process. Let's map it to Amazon. So in Amazon's case, now you could go straight to Amazon. You search for a product because it's a household name. But imagine that you also discover it through search. You discover some of the products through search, or through an affiliate link on one of the influencers, and you see this product. Let's assume it's a mug that you like and you want to buy. You go and you either add to your cart, like a lot of e-commerce stores do, but even with Amazon, you could basically just buy now with that one click, where you click on it. You don't even need to put your credit card because it's already there. You don't even need to check your checkout. So it's the most smoothest purchasing experience you can get. Then what Amazon also did really well in is the delivery piece, where if you have Amazon Prime, you get this free one-day delivery. And now all of us are used to this, quick same day or one-day delivery that we get, from these e-commerce stores. And it was again pioneered by Amazon. And hopefully you get that mug and you can enjoy your hot tea or coffee in it, and it's as advertised. So this is pretty straightforward, and anyone that has an e-commerce store needs to sort of work towards something like this. Anyone that is selling products that are physical in nature, that can be easily understood by the buyers, can follow this kind of process. The challenge, however, is if your product is a service or a software, something that's not easily visible or people can actually take into account and see what they're buying. Now imagine you are a B2B company selling some kind of software or a solution overall. Yeah, so you're selling this to businesses or enterprise, Let's sort of check out that sales process in that case. So we go through the same, again, even if you're working with enterprises or buying products, they go through a similar buying journey. So first they start with the discovery, and that could be, again, a search, and your search results come up, or you've done an advertisement that comes up about the product, or it could be that they heard about it through a referral or in an event. Now, this is where it starts to become complicated. Usually when it's a software product or a solution, it's not really easily visualized like a hardware product is, like a cup or even a computer or a phone that has certain specifications, certain requirements. The more you go into the area of solutions, services, software, the product is going to be harder to demonstrate. So this is why you got to do more work in creating videos that explain the products, being able to see it, or giving people an opportunity to try it or see it in action. So that's the first challenge in terms of how do you convey what your product has to offer in an easy way for the end customer to understand, especially these days when we all have such short attention spans. Now, the next challenge is the buying part. When you're working with software or services or solutions, or more complicated sales, the buying process is not straightforward. There's a proposal that needs to be sent out. There are sometimes RFPs that you need to respond to, request for proposals. So these are tenders that the buyer would launch, and then you'd have to create these documents, one commercial document, one technical document that explains the solution, explains all the features. This process sometimes takes months. And then even after the proposal is discussed, approved, negotiated, the contractual process of actually buying and actually getting paid also takes a couple of months. And all of this is really what slows down enterprise sales dramatically. Then, okay, let's assume we bought, it took us a couple of months, and we want to deliver the product, the solution, the software that the customer bought. Many times, again, the delivery is not straightforward. This basically is a process where it takes maybe a couple of months to implement the project, and as they're implementing the project, you're getting paid in chunks, not until you complete the project. So it's paid on milestones. And at the end of the day, the customer isn't 100% sure of what the experience they will get. Did they really buy after all this process of a couple of months of work, maybe years of work? Did they actually end up buying and making use of the product that they had thought they're gonna buy in the beginning? Did it really do the work that it was promised to be doing? So these are big challenges that take place, like we said, in sales that don't have just physical products involved in it, but actually have software or solutions or services. And it's a big challenge. However, for any companies working in this space, you really need to push yourself to think of the solution as if it is a product. You need to think about, how can I take this whole solution and turn it into a product? Now, do you know which kind of companies do this well? There's a certain kind of software companies that do this quite well, and they've been quite successful over the past couple of years. And they have a strange name. All right, seems like you thought about it. It is SaaS companies, software as a service companies. So software as a service in general has become so successful over the past decade or so because it streamlines the process of that buying journey from what we just saw in the example of these solution sales to something that is closer to a hardware product sale. So the discovery, again, similar kind of approach. Then the product is available usually for you to try for free. So you know these freemium models. So you could try the product for free. And the reason for that is that the companies, these SaaS companies, already have the product ready. They don't need to, they need to explain how it works, etc. But they encourage you to go and try it without any commitment. And as you try it, and if it's really easy to try and understand, you start to get engaged with it. You get a feel of what is that product that I'm going to be buying in the end. So that's a quick, step to go from, just talking about a product, explaining the services that you're going to provide or explaining the solution you're going to provide, to actually having people try it out then and there. And you can see software companies, software as a service companies all over provide this, from CRM companies like HubSpot and others to, accounting companies to even the AI companies like ChatGPT. You go in as a free trial, you try it, and you get wowed by the experience of talking to an AI agent. All of this is done at the product level in a demo kind of environment that allows you to try it and know what you're buying. Now, the second stage after that, let's say, okay, you tried it, you like it, you want to buy. Instead of going through that previous process where we have to go and define the scope, propose, do a contract, all of that, and get paid, what happens in the SaaS kind of businesses is that you immediately get a list of features that you can buy for a certain price. And you can see many of these companies have 2 or 3 models. There's a free trial, there's a middle version, which is sort of the most common version. Let's say for $10 you get these elements inside of your product, $10 a month. And then there's a premium version, which is like $50 a month. You get more features. You immediately look at the features, you can determine if you like it or not, and decide which one works best for you, which monthly subscription works best for you. And instead of buying this upfront investment, paying it upfront for buying the software and setting it up on your infrastructure, this software as a service model says to you, you don't have to worry about anything. You're getting a product, we will host it, we will control it, we will create the security guardrails for it, we'll manage it all the time. All you need to do is focus on your business and use it. So it's easy to buy, doesn't need a lot of decisions making to take place because it's a small purchase usually. And the good thing about the delivery is once you buy, you're immediately using it, so it's delivered again. So this is, as you can see, very similar to the product experience that we saw in Amazon. And this is why software as a service companies have really been successful. So your key objective in any business that you have is to try to optimize this whole journey as much as possible. And you could think of this as, productizing your offering. So even if you have a complicated offering or an extensive high-end solution that you want to offer, you need to think about, how can I productize it? How can I bring it down to the most efficient chunk that can be explained to end customers, that can be, tried by the end customers, which will allow these end customers to be wowed by the experience and be able to take a decision and buy it then and there and quickly start implementing it. And this whole process of productizing the offering hasn't been really that easy. Like we said, with software as a service, there was a big breakthrough where that software product became productized and delivered in this efficient way. But in general, other products are much harder, other solutions are much harder to productize. But that's why we have this year AI agents to help us out. And in potential, we've created a couple of these AI agents that can help you out through this whole journey. Starting with a product marketing AI agent that helps you productize what you have and come up with the best way to position it, best way to communicate it. It will do competitive analysis in the market to identify for you what's the best angle you could take to really develop it. We've talked about this in previous sessions, so I'm not going to go into a lot of details here, but you could go back to one of our marketing sessions to understand more about how this AI agent works. Then you can start to create your marketing material after you've created the product that you want to focus on. Again, we have lots of tools ready to go for creating your best pitch, call for action, the kind of messaging that you could use for your marketing and communications for your product. You could also use another tool to launch your press release about the product and create a lot of content marketing, in-depth white papers, blog posts, etc., with social media links and engagement models that you can use. So these are all agents we've created around the productizing and then marketing of your product. Then the real breakthrough in the past couple of weeks we've been working on and potential is allowing you to scale your sales team. So assume today that you could just hire 100 salespeople to be answering customer calls across any touch point that you have, your website, your phone, your social media, any place where you have some information about your product. You then have a team of top-notch sales agents answering customer questions and actually concluding the sale. This is the big breakthrough. So we've trained a couple of AI agents on a methodology called consultative selling methodology, which is a really efficient, effective way to build proper, lasting customer relationships by understanding the needs of the customers and being able to offer them the right solution for their needs. So we've trained a set of AI agents that can be deployed in interactive chatbots like these ones, which could sit on a website and interact. So the brains of these chatbots are trained on strategic selling using consultative selling approach. And beyond the website, where you could also have either text-based or phone-based or voice-based discussions with these sales agents, we also have call centers, which can be inbound or outbound call centers where the AI agents in these call centers they talk in real time. They're very well trained to understand the needs and position the products and services that are best fit for the customers. And then taking this even a step further, what we've done is we've tried to create this one-click buying experience for the solutions and services. And how we do that is that after you've productized your offering, we take these sales agents and we deploy them on a specific landing page. Here's an example from our own landing pages. And the idea is that the buyer or the shopper will talk straight with an AI agent, and the AI agent will guide them, like we said, through the benefits and be able to understand the needs and provide the requirements. But more importantly, the AI agent will help them set up their details, will help them through that buying journey. So it's very similar to a one-click step, where it's not as simple as one click, but at least you have an AI agent to guide you through that whole journey. So you can see here, as the agent is talking, if in this case, they suggest an AI chatbot, they get the link of the chatbot, and then the customer can just fill in their information and actually buy while they are talking to the agent, and try it out and answer any questions, all live, through the discussion also with the AI agents. So this is really where you start to take these complicated solutions and have these really talented AI agents walk customers through that whole journey. So you can see how this is gonna help you reimagine your sales process, and we encourage you to do that. Think of the possibilities, a lot of different things that can be done now to help you streamline your sales process and ultimately allow you to reach your sales targets. So I hope you found this useful, and I'll look forward to talking to you next week. All the best.